Hey guys, welcome back to Creativity and Inspiration. How's everyone doing? Today is Friday. This video should have gone up yesterday, but I had major plumbing bad news. I have an older home, cast iron piping under my house for plumbing, and some of it's just totally gone. So, not a good day yesterday, and I had plumbers in and out. Next week, I'm going to have people here jackhammering at my house. So I will try to get all the videos filmed quickly before they start, or we'll have a different sort of week next week. It just depends. But today, we are working in our DIY art journal, super simple one that we created last Monday, that we created on Monday. I'm going to show you how you can do some elevated art, I want to say, with the Gelli Plate, because I feel like not enough people use it in journals or in art because they don't really understand how to take it to the next level. So that's what I'm going to do today. So come on. Okay guys, so here is our journal that we made on Monday. And I glued the pattern paper down. Part of the book page we tore, I put that down. And then I gessoed 2 pages together. This is where we're going to work today. And then there's our half page. Oh, and I glued in our page so it's extra long. So if I wanted to do a really long spread, I have that. Just to show you again what those look like. But today I'm going to show you how you can really use a Gelli plate to create maybe a little bit more than you thought. There's our drawing we did. Okay. And I'm going to use our page with the mixed media papers down on it, the pattern paper and the book page. And I'm going to get my Gelli plate. I'm going to get my roller and some paint, and I will be right back. Okay, Henry, I didn't get enough spoof. I need a roller. And I want to do some red and yellow. So let's get red and yellow. Where's yellow? Let's do this yellow. Okay, I have some red and yellow paint. That's going to be our base colors. I'm also going to use some stamps. And if you're going to use stamps on a Gelli plate, it's good to use the rubber ones. They have the best profile for a Gelli plate. Just, you know, wipe them off really good when you're done. I'm going to use the flower. And then I might do just some drawing with the end of a paintbrush. Maybe this fatter paintbrush. Okay, and that's how we're just going to start. So I'm going to get that out of the way. Take off all the protective pieces from my Gelli plate. And I'm just going to put it on here. I'm not worried about it. Shake my paint up. And I'm going to put the yellow down first. Okay. And put a little bit down. And if I need to put more, I will. Okay. Okay, there's my yellow down. Then I'm gonna put a little red down. Okay. And now I'm gonna I'm going to take my stamp and really press down. And you can see it's there. And then I'm going to put my stamp again. I'm going to bring over here and put my, see, you can see the flowers. And I'm just going to make a bunch of, to clean it. And then I'm going to come over here and put another one. And another one right there. And then I'm going to come in with my big paintbrush and just kind of swirl around like that. Okay. And now I'm going to pick up my Gelli plate. And I'm just going to press it down on my page, on my art journal page. You can see the design really good right there. And then you're just going to press it really good so it all transfers to your page. Okay. And there's our first layer. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that. That's fine. I'm going to roll it again with some red. And I'm going to add my flowers, my leaves. And these are just masks that I cut out. And I'm going to put them here at the bottom. And I cut out some big ones and kind of going to overlap them. Now what I'm going to do is put my yellow over that. Add a little bit more yellow. Okay. And then I'm going to pick this up again. And I'm going to take off the leaves. Oops. That's okay if it tears. Remember, you made it. And there we go. And now we're going to put this down on top of the one we did earlier. I'm actually going to bring it down just a tad. There. And I'm going to just press it down really good. and then lift it up. Okay, and you can see the leaves, but we're not done, so hang on. But this is great, so I'm gonna get a piece of paper, just any piece of paper. I'm gonna put it down on there, and I'm gonna roll it so I can pick that up, because that'll be good for something later. And I'm gonna get all this paint off too while I'm doing that. There we go. You can see the leaves good there. Okay. And I'm gonna press it down again. And I'm gonna switch up colors. And I'm gonna put down a turquoise. Okay, I'm gonna put down turquoise. Cover it. Up. And then I'm gonna come in with my flower. Oh, I forgot to. Be sure and clean your flower or whatever. There we go. Okay, now I might come in with my paintbrush and draw some stems. I'll draw some grass. And then you let it dry for about 10 minutes. All right. Once it dries, come in with white paint. Where is white? There we go. And roll over the whole thing with white paint. Okay. And then we're gonna flip it over and plop it down. There we go. Okay, so if you're trying to layer and your colors get muddled, just go over it. Don't panic. And there you go. And that is so cool. You've got some flowers, you got some rose looking things, and that's a whole thing, because what it's doing is it's pulling up some of the layer beneath and some of the shape, but it's not using the whole shape. And it's so cool. And that's how you kind of do next level, because maybe you don't want to transfer every image per se, but you want a version of it. And I love this. That's 3 roses, and then the little daisy flowers down here. You get a lot of texture and movement. Today, I'm going to show you how you can create something like this with a jelly plate. And it's really super simple. All you need your jelly plate. You need something to trace. It can be a magazine. It can be whatever you want. You'll need 1 white paint for sure, colors of your choice. If you want to paint the outfit before, or you can paint the outfit after. It's up to you. And you'll need a Posca paint marker, or you can use a watercolor marker, whatever you feel comfortable doing. And what you do is you pick whatever image you want to trace. Let's see. I think I'll do I'm gonna do this girl. My jelly plate's not very big, so it doesn't cover her full body, so I'm gonna kind of get like her head and part of the palm tree. Then all you do is trace it. Remember, you're on your jelly plate, so don't maybe press as hard as you would if you were on your a piece of paper. So I'm just gonna get in here and trace out her face, and then some hair. Some more hair. Okay. And her neck. And her arm. And you can trace as much or as little of the image as you want. But what you're going to do is trace it. Now, if you have a big jelly plate, obviously you could trace the whole image. You could also freehand this. You don't have to trace if you don't want to. Okay, I'm going to leave off this giant pocket on her dress. And then I'm going to get this leaf behind her head. And you just trace out as much or as little of the image, whatever you picked. It could be a photo that you took yourself. Okay, and then you can paint it if you want, fill in the dress, the scene, whatever you want to do, or you can just stop here and let it sit for just a couple of minutes. And then you're going to come in with your roller and some white paint. Okay, After it's set a few minutes, it'll be dry unless, you know, you painted up the outfit. And after it dries, then you're going to... Okay, guys, after it's set for a few minutes, get your white paint. And you want a good coat of white paint. And you're going to lift it with the white paint. So you're just going to roll it. There we go. Roll it on. And there you go. There's one. So we've got one there. And then I put it on this page and I got a second one there. Now, if you want to get a clearer, crisper one, I will show you how to do it. I'm just going to leave what's on there, and I'm going to come in with the Posca again. Now, with this one, what I did was I got this, and then I went in and painted, and you can go over your lines. That's a great way to do it. That's what this one is. And I did this one on watercolor paper. Or, like I said, let me get the Posca, and we're going to go over the lines again. Oops. It's this side. Sorry. And... And then what you do is you can go over your lines with this, or you can just paint it in. Or if you want one even clearer, you can go over the image again. Get this lined up. That's actually very easy. And I'm just going to do like some of her hair and her body here. Okay. And we've got our skirt again. Get the rest of her hair. Get her chin in there. Get her neck. Get her arms. And there's her clavicle. Okay. Now, once you get your image again, this time I just did her, but instead of doing her just like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a little paint. And I'm going to do some of her dress as well. So I'm going to come in and just paint some of her dress. And I'm just dabbing really. And like I said, you can do this. You don't have to do it with Posca. You can do it with a watercolor marker if you want. Okay. Now I'm going to do the white again. I'm going to do a little bit less white this time. And see, you can also come over here and paint her if you want to. Gotta let that dry some. And then once it dries, we're gonna go over it with the white. Shouldn't take it long because I didn't do it real heavy. Let it dry about 10 minutes and we will be back. Okay guys, while we're waiting on this one to dry, I just filled this one in with the Posca marker. You could paint it, do whatever you wanted to. This one's dry now. I'm gonna come in with a little bit of white paint. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just enough to coat her up. Oops, well, the blue wasn't quite dry enough, but that's okay. We'll just go ahead and do it anyway. Right? Okay, there we've got her. Now we're gonna flip her over and we're gonna put her right here and we're gonna roll on this side. And you press hard. And then you lift up, and there she is again. But this time her dress is painted. And how much detail you put into her on here is totally up to you. You can put as little or as much detail as you want. It doesn't really, you know, it's personal preference. So it's totally personal preference. And you can keep lifting her until she won't come off anymore. But don't worry, you can clean the Posca off your Gelli plate. You just keep lifting it. Or if you don't want to do that, use a watercolor marker instead of a Posca marker. And it will come off a little bit easier. So it's totally up to you. And there we got another one. So I've gotten about three off of one, and then this one. So this is a cool way, it's kind of an elevated way to make some art using your Gelli plate. And like I said, if you don't want to use Posca markers, you can definitely use watercolor markers. They work just as well. And you don't have to trace an image. If you can draw or want to try to draw your own image. It's totally up to you. But this makes for something fun. In an art journal, in a regular journal, it's just another layer of things that if we use all the tools we have, that we can do that's kind of interesting and different. So again, all I did was I took an image from this Simplicity coloring book. I traced it with a Posca marker onto my Gelli plate. I let it dry. This one I let dry and lifted just the Posca marker off. This one I painted the image while it was on the Gelli plate and lifted both the paint and the tracing off. And then I was able to get this one on this side that's kind of faint, and this one. But they're all really viable. You could all go in with your own marker, or she could be kind of fading in the background. It's just kind of however you see you using her. You could also do this like I did. You could also use this like I did this one and cut it out and put it in your journals of any type, art or writing journal. You can make paper dolls out of these. So it's just a way to kind of expand, like I said, expand our toolbox when we're creating in our journals. And then you just let it dry. All right, guys. I will see you on Monday. I don't know what our videos are going to be. I am putting the second Patreon video up. It'll be up by Monday. It's all about the different types of textures, how we can use textures in everyday life. And I don't know if you know, but there's 4 types of texture, and I'm going to talk about each one And there's still a 7-day free trial on either tier, both tiers, whatever you want to try, just to see what you're going to get. And don't forget, you can create cool mixed media effects too using the Gelli Plate. So they don't have to just be recognizable images. They can be abstract images as well. And I think these are really cool. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure and give it a thumbs up. I do want to say, and I did cut this in the video as well, that if you don't want to use your Posca marker, because you do have to lift it off several times off your Gelli Plate. If you don't want to use a Posca marker, use a watercolor marker. It comes off, it lifts off a lot easier. And I also inserted that in the video, so if you missed it, you can go back and find it. I just wanted to make sure everybody heard that, because sometimes the Posca marker is difficult to lift off. You have to lift it depending on how hard you press, how old your Gelli Plate is. You might have to lift it several times. So if you don't want to run the risk of having to lift it several times, or you just think, you know, it might get stuck on there and I might never get it off, then go ahead and use a watercolor marker, or watercolor marker, and they come off like that. The only thing is you have to let them dry for sure for 10 minutes, because they will smudge if you try to lift them right after you put them down. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that little bell. We have a lot of great videos coming your way. I also have a Patreon where I am sharing full-length workshops with you. You can pay $10 or $18. There's different goodies with each one. Both, though, get 2 full-size workshops a month. First-ish week of the month and last week of the month. That's the schedule. There is a free trial, a 7-day free trial. You can sign up, and if you decide later you want to cancel, you can cancel. You can go between layers, go between tiers, and it's only $10 a month, or only $18 a month. It's not a week. It's only once a month that you're charged. So basically, you're paying either $10 or $18 for 2 full workshops that I teach out as a class in a town that people pay at least $150 for. So go check it out if you are so inclined. But if you're not, don't worry. We're going to have great videos here on this channel. And we will be back on Monday with our next video. Have an awesome weekend and enjoy the way to create art with a Gelli Plate. Bye, guys.